Die Hard, directed by John McTiernan in 1988. This is the perfect Christmas movie. It just kicks ass. It's a heist movie. And I'm gonna change things up a little bit. This is gonna be like a Die Hard review that nobody's ever done before. Quite original. Okay, so it's a heist movie. Now, it starts out these 12 guys are headed to Yakatomi Plaza for to basically take this building under siege. And they are fucking smart. They're brilliant. And the head thief, or i.e. terrorist, or whatever you want to call them. They say terrorist in the movie, but really they're just thieves. But, but the head thief, played by the late, great Alan Rickman, he is smart. I mean, he has plans for, for when shit goes down. He has, plans on, he's got a plan for this, plan for that. He's pretty much got a plan for everything. He's got the perfect, thing, because he has a job to do. And, he's gonna do it with the help of his ragtag team of bad guys. And, so yeah, they take this building, and, they're after Mr. Takagi, the owner of, Yakatomi Enterprises, and he's after one thing, Hans Gruber, Alan Rickman, and that is $640 million worth of untraceable bearer bonds. Now, and for filmmakers out there, let me just pause for a second. If you guys want to learn how to write the perfect bad guy, take notes and take a lot of notes for Die Hard. Alan Rickman plays the perfect bad guy, the perfect antagonist, and because he's not some mustache twirling bad guy. He's there for a purpose. He's got a plan. He knows what to do, and it's just executed perfectly. So he the first plan, which I'm pretty sure that he knew right away that it wasn't gonna work, but he tries the direct approach. He goes to Mr. Takagi and asked him for the passcodes to the vault, and of course, the businessman Takagi's like, "You're just gonna have to kill me." So what does Hans Gruber do? He blows his fucking head off. So that goes into section 2. Now he's got to do it the hard way. So he's got a technical guy that breaks into the vault, which is gonna take time. It's a very, very high stakes, high security vault, so it's gonna take hours. But it's okay, because Hans has got a plan for this. And so, of course, inevitably, the cops get involved and everything, and so, which is part of his plan. So, the cops get involved and everything, and at first, he they they just send the cops away um, because of the head guy. He's got a Texan accent, and so he just goes and gets the cops out of the way, calls 911. That's brilliant writing for like the bad guys to actually call 911 and say, "Hey, everything's fine here." That's great. But one thing that Hans wasn't expecting was a meddling New York cop by the name of John McClane, played by none other than Bruce Willis. A very young Bruce Willis. The, the kind of Bruce Willis who, that's when he actually cared about acting. No offense to Bruce Willis if you're watching this, I highly doubt it. But this is when he actually gave a fuck. But yeah. And, so Bruce Willis just starts fucking up his plans step by step. Cause, well, to Hans, he's got one objective: get the money at all means necessary. So, but John McClane just keeps fucking things up. Kills his henchmen, brings more cops, and he just wrecks shop. And, but he doesn't know that he's a cop. He just knows that he's just a cowboy because it's all done by like a walkie-talkie. Because Bruce Willis's character and Alan Rickman's character, they basically have one or two scenes together. That's it. But everything is done by walkie-talkie, and so John McClane doesn't want the terrorist or the robbers to know that he's a New York cop or his name, because John McClane has got his wife there, and he doesn't want to make her into some kind of target. And so he just goes by the name Roy. Now, the cool thing is, these side characters of the movie, most of them are complete scumbags. And I'm not talking about the bad guys. But, like for instance, Ellis. A hotshot, like wannabe guy that thinks his shit don't stink. And he thinks he could negotiate with them. And he thinks he could, speak their language. Because he thinks he knows what he wants. But all this guy Ellis is trying to do is save his own ass. But one thing about Ellis, just by rewatching the movie, I realized, yes, he's a dick, but he could have sold out McClane at any time by just giving the name of his wife, Holly. But even though he's such a douche, like he has some kind of humanity, which I think that was a good call. I mean, the guy is a coke fiend and everything. So, I mean, it's the 1980s. Who wasn't? But anyway, so this guy Ellis thinks that he could talk some sense into McClane, and so he can't. And Hans just gets tired of his ass and blows his ass away. Boom. And of course it scares everybody. But another one bites the dust. And, so after that, the cops, show up. and eventually the FBI shows up. And but before I get to that, one of John McClane's, well, actually his one and only resource to the outside world is a beat patrol officer who's basically, he's not even a beat patrol officer. He has a desk job because you find out later he shot a kid and he can't really live with that, so he's just a desk cop. But he's on his way home, so he gets the call to check it out. John McClane, to get this cop's attention, drops a dead, like, terrorist or thief or whatever you want to call him onto the police car. It's one of the funniest fucking scenes of the whole movie. Every time I see it, I laugh my ass off. It's that funny. It's so, but so that they get to talking and it's his one and only ally. And then here comes the guy who always plays the dipshit. I can't remember the actor's name, but he's the douchebag from the Breakfast Club, the principal, Dwayne something. In the movie, that's his name. Well, Dwayne thinks he's hot shit when he's actually nothing but a cold turd. And so he starts some shit, but the real thing is, Han's plan is to make himself and his crew out to be a terrorist organization, and he wants the cops to believe the reason why they took the building under siege is so he could get some of his fellow brothers out of prison and stuff like that. But it's just a ruse, just to waste time so he could have more time getting the money or the bearer bonds. So the FBI gets involved, and the thing is, Hans is so smart. He just he knows the FBI's playbook. So when the FBI does arrive, they have them shut off the power, which is exactly what needs to happen so the vault can open up. So that's what happens. The vault opens up, and it's Christmas time. Everybody's happy, and so they get everybody on top, or to the top of the roof. But the thing is, like, the roof is like wired with like explosions or like C4 and all kinds of shit. So the original plan was to like kill everybody at the end, so everybody could just like get away. And it's said in the movie, it's hard to get away with $640 million, but if somebody thinks you're dead, it's easy. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically it. So so they plan on killing everybody. John McClane sees this and gets everybody off the roof. And just right when the FBI is getting ready to like shoot John McClane because they think he's a terrorist, because he's trying to get everybody off the fucking roof, they shoot at him. And then Hans and company decides to blow up the roof just then, and boom, goodbye FBI guys. And I gotta say, one of the FBI guys is played by Robert Davi. He's a great actor, like from the 80s. For some reason, he always played the bad guy. and he played a douchebag in this too, but he didn't live long. But 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 even when he shows up, everybody in this movie, when need be, steals whatever scene they're in. Even some of the henchmen. Now, so basically, okay, here's the showdown. So Hans figures out that Holly is uh, McLean's wife, and so he snatches her, and here comes the big showdown. And so basically, Hans is threatening to like kill Holly, and of course, there's a big shootout. Bing, bang, bang, and well, John McClane shoots Hans. Meanwhile, Hans still has a of hold of Holly and is dragging her down. He's fixing to fall to his death, but he is holding on to her fucking Rolex. So John McClane just breaks the Rolex, and unfortunately, the great Alan Rickman, Hans Gruber, falls to his death. It's kind of sad if you think about it, because if all he really wanted was his $640 million. I mean, who doesn't, right? Now I'm joking, yeah. But the thing is, that's the great thing about like Die Hard is the bad guys are just as interesting as the good guys, and you could kind of understand why he wants to do it. And there's not a lot of like violence or anything when it comes to like hurting women. It's done very tastefully, and I just think it's a fucking wonderful movie. Like, if you haven't seen it, you gotta go see it. Basically, I gave you the whole thing, but from a different perspective, because everybody goes from for the quote unquote good guy's perspective, but Die Hard has such a good bad guy in Hans Gruber. I decided to flip the script a little bit and do it from the bad guy's perspective, because the plan was perfect, and that fucking cop had to ruin it. But yeah, it's the perfect Christmas movie, and and the, and now that I think about it, it was the perfect response to 1987's Lethal Weapon, which was done by Warner Brothers, and 20th Century Fox like decided they wanted a piece of that kind of action. So they developed a wonderful story, got a good director. I mean, the director's no Richard Donner, but hell, like, John McTiernan directed fucking Predator, like one of the greatest action movies of all time. But I mean, it was just fantastic. But yeah, that's my thing for Die Hard. I should say that it's a spoiler heavy thing, which I gotta put into the credits there, but hopefully everybody liked it. It's an awesome movie, and if you get a chance, go out and get it. Go out and get it on 4K, because 4K is fucking awesome. It looks like it was just shot yesterday. All right, I'm pretty sure. Like, if I missed anything, um, just let me know and I'll do another video. But I don't think so. It's kind of funny actually, because I didn't go into a lot of detail like this with the um Top Gun review, which I should have, but like, I mean, it's done perfectly, and I don't know. I just wanted to try something a little different. But yeah, in a perfect world, like Han should have got away with it. I mean, but that's just because he was such a cool character. And but yeah, the script was perfect. Anybody that's into film should absolutely divulge that script, because like that's how you write a bad guy, and the tension's great. All right, folks, I've rambled on enough, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, Merry Christmas, people.